Howdy, 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 my darling Aquarius. How are you doing today? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into Aquarius, your weekly tarot reading for December 2022. All right, and just like when it comes to your horoscopes for your zodiac sign, Aquarius, check out more than just your one zodiac sign. Check out your sun, moon, and your rising to get the best understanding when it comes to your YouTube tarot readings or wherever you get your tarot readings, darling Aquarius. All right, and have get a better understanding what's happening in your life in specific. All right, and if you do enjoy this tarot reading, just let me know in the comments below how this resonates with you, Aquarius. That's how I keep up with y'all, is through the comments, and it's nice to know I'm talking to a human once in a while, right? And then as well, the best way to support me, Aquarius, is completely for free, darling. Just give this video a like and subscribe. It's seemingly such a small action because it is, but it really does help me out a lot, and I always appreciate those who do that extra step to support me. So let's just get right into this here, Aquarius. All right, we're going to be pulling your first three cards here, and I'm going to be addressing this card in the back of the deck, the energy that you don't see coming, the energy that you didn't really expect your storyline to be going in, which is the Six of Swords. So to me, Aquarius, it's like you didn't really anticipate having to move on from something. It's like having to move on from a concept, an idea, or maybe it's quite literally having to move on from an environment or moving on from certain people. I do get like this sense of like, I don't know, bittersweet isn't the word for it, but being bitter isn't also, because I feel like you are extremely at peace with whatever it is that you had to move on from. But it's also like the same message here where it's just like, man, I really didn't want to have this, man, like it really shouldn't have been played out in this way. All right, and so it's like this sense of where it's just, especially if it's dealing with like a person, Aquarius, it's like you're able to see someone and on their journey and where they're at, and at the same time you're just like, you know what, I love you, but it's unfortunate that I had to get to this point here, but at the end of the day, Aquarius, is like, I choose me, right? That's what I feel like is happening here. It's just like, I really didn't want to have to do this, but I choose me. And I feel like because Aquarius, there's like this sense of confidence in you moving on from that. It's like you're so at peace with understanding, where it's just like you understand that you are not the problem, right? So it's like I don't feel like you were really gaslit in this situation, or maybe you just have been so used to Aquarius being gaslit or dealing with like manipulative situations now that it's like at this point in time, it's like you see through the BS, or the guys is it's like knock my own glasses off. It's like the guise has been lifted, Aquarius. So it's just like you're just moving on, right? You're moving on to bigger and better things, and that's part of the reason why you're able to move on, is because you're already juggling with quite a bit, Aquarius. It's like you have a lot of big dreams and aspirations for yourself here, right? The Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune coming in. What I can be really telling you, Aquarius, and I feel like this has already been happening, like I feel like if you were to like observe like what's been going on in your life for an X amount of time, darling, I don't know, like maybe 2 months now, it's like you've been noticing like things are starting to ramp up, and how things have been ramping up for you with this Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune, it can be turning in your favor, it can be turning against you, or it could just not have been moving for you for some reason, Aquarius. I'm being shown cobwebs intuitively. So to me, this Wheel of Fortune, it's been a hot biscuit, Aquarius, since it's been moving, right? Not maybe necessarily in a sense where it's like you've been dealing with a lot of crappy stuff, but it's at the same time, it's like nothing has really been, excuse me, like nothing has really been exciting or positive happening for you. But I feel like the momentum has been picking up, and I feel like that's part of the reason why you were able to be the Six of Swords energy, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like on some level, Aquarius, you are very much so in tune. I think I even said this in your last weekly tarot reading that I did for you, Aquarius, where it's like I feel like you're very in tune with like your purpose, or you're very in tune with like your spiritual team, or just like where you are being spiritually guided. If you subscribe to the concept of like Akashic records, it's like you're understanding like your divine soul's purpose. You're understanding like I don't know, I feel like it's like I can't even find the words for it, Aquarius. It's like you are real, and I know it sounds so corny, and forgive me, but it's like you really have found yourself. I feel like you are really waking up to different facets, and I feel like I said this to you, so confirm it to me, Aquarius, if I said this in the past for you. But it's like I'm being shown like different facets of your life, and also I'm being shown cobwebs and spiders once again. I don't, maybe you've been noticing spiders in your life, but I feel like, how my spiritual team communicates with me is very big on symbology. So to me, symbolically, the cobwebs represent something in the sense of like nothing has been happening, or just like been long rejected, pushed off into the corner. It could mean something different for you, Aquarius, but I digress from that. It's like, there's different facets of yourself where it's like, for example, maybe you always say it's like, oh, I'm a hermit. hermit. I don't like talking to people, Velka, and honey, join the club. All right. But I want to challenge you in that. It's like, I don't feel like you're necessarily like a hermit or antisocial. I feel like you're just a hermit or antisocial to people that you just don't vibe with, right? With the general public, because I can guarantee you, if I found like you have like either, maybe I'm being presumptuous, darling, right? Maybe you don't connect with anyone in your life, but I feel like if you have like your one closest friend or closest, you know, the few people that you really click with and connect with, and sat them in a room with you, like you would be talking off, you would be talking away. You might have even noticed how your behavior is just very different depending on who you talk to, Aquarius. And I feel like, you know, part of the reason why you needed to do the Six of Swords is because you can finally feel more comfortable to be who Aquarius is, right? And so let's just say I'm an Aquarius, right? I don't think I have any Aquarius in my chart off the top of my head, but let's just say I'm an Aquarius, right? And this type of dynamic here, you know, let's say how it play off for me is being like, okay, I need to disconnect myself from whoever it was, right? Family, friends, whatever, that made me feel a little bit shy or shameful about doing tarot readings. And the moment I'm able to separate myself from those types of energies, I'm able to do more tarot readings unapologetically, show my personality more, and, you know, post more and all that there, right? Because I'm no longer entertaining those old things or whatever that had me feeling a little bit insecure. And so it's like I used to always say, it's like, oh, I'm not really an entertaining tarot reader, but I was actually an entertaining tarot reader. I just became very boring because of who was around me that made me feel shameful about being more flamboyant or just whatever, right? So replace all that with how it would apply in your life, because I do feel like on some level, Aquarius, there's been certain facets of yourself that you really haven't entertained as much as you want, or it's like certain parts of yourself that you've claimed as your identity when it's not really, like, it's a part of you. Yeah, like, sure, you don't like talking to people and you can go days or weeks without talking to people and be in complete bliss, but I feel as if like it's more so due to like the environment. All right, maybe I'm being presumptuous. Anyways, darling, right? I feel like things are really opening up for you. All right. And it's through like this sense of like awareness of these parts of yourself here. Ace of Cups coming in here. You know, it's like the as your heart, or as you open up more to the world opens up in response to you. The Wheel of Fortune starts turning in your favor in response to you. And maybe that's part of the reason why Spirit has, I don't want to say Spirit has been blocking your blessings, because I feel like that's way too invested into like, I just don't believe in that type of concept there. I more so believe that you reached a certain point in your life where it's like you can't really continue going forward, continue progressing in your life, Aquarius, without having to open up more, right? You know, you can go so far on social media having like a facade or having like a mask, for example, you know, but then there comes a certain point in time where it's just like, all right, if you really want to really blow up, you know, you have to stop feeling so shy. You know, it's that time where it's like you transition from, you know, acting and singing in your room, and it's time for you to put it out on the big stage, put it out for an audience here. And so I feel like that's what's happening. It's like the more that you start feeling okay with putting down your guard and opening up, the more the world around you is going to respond positively to that. So it's not as if like you've been having your blessings blocked, but it's more so it's like you know, you haven't been able to get to the next level because there's this sense of like vulnerability that you needed to exude, right? And so, and I feel like that's what you're moving on from, is stuff that has had made you feel more reserved. So girl, we only pulled a few tarot cards, 4 tarot cards for you, and I've been running my mouth, Aquarius, but I feel like we haven't needed any other ones. All right, so whatever this is, Aquarius, let me know in the comments below, like what have you been afraid, not afraid, or let's just say shy. What have you been shy of showcasing about yourself, Aquarius, that I feel like you're going to start, once you make the decision to start showcasing and be like, you know what, actually I like to do spiritual stuff, I like to read tarot readings, and you start waking up to that more now that you're separating yourself from it. Anyways, Aquarius, let's get into your oracle reading today. All right, so your animal card is the number 51, equaling to 6, which every other air sign, both Libra and Gemini, got the number 6 in different ways for their cards. So all the air signs, the number 6 is in numerology. So if you do have Libra or Gemini in your chart, check them out. Not mandatory though, obviously. But the Sandpiper Spirit, be playful, very fitting, Aquarius. You know, I always like to use the example when it comes to people who are so in their head, is like, you know, when there's certain people, and maybe you are that person, Aquarius, where it's like you see like a toddler in a room and the toddler wants to play with somebody, and that person is like isn't able to like is like way too in their head, or playing, like being too serious when it comes to playing with the kid, when the kid is just like, no, play with me. You know, there's certain people that are good with kids because they don't care about how they look or being silly. And then there's the people that are just really reserved and, you know, or, you know, just in their head there. I feel like for you, this is just like very fitting for what I've been saying this entire time, Aquarius. So I'm not going to waste y'all's time repeating the same thing. Like, y'all make the connection, honey. We're adults here for the most part, I'm assuming, right? So you understand like how just in alignment that is for you, where it's just like, I feel like you're starting to be more playful, and in response, the world's going to be more playful with you, with the opportunities that it brings to you. All right, in a positive way. Let's get into your moon oracle card. And yours is the new moon in Virgo. New moons representing new beginnings. Trust all will be well, darling. So it's also the sense of maybe you wanting to be vulnerable, but it's the sense of where you might end up regretting being vulnerable for that case. The first example that comes to my mind, Aquarius, and I'm not saying this is you, and I'm not condoning it or whatever. Girl, I don't care what you do. This is your business, right? But the best kind of case I can feel with this is like, you know, the first thing that came to my mind is like, maybe you want to do an OF, right? If you know what OF represents, then we can just leave it there, right? An OF, maybe you want to be on social media, post funny videos or what have you, but then it's just like, oh, like I don't want to be vulnerable, you know, I don't want to do this risk here and then have this permanent digital footprint on the internet and not have it amount to anything, not have it be successful and what have you. All right. Trust that all will be well. It's really important for you to take this risk, being vulnerable, not only vulnerable, but also just trusting the process of where it's like, what happens in response to you being vulnerable is going to be positive. Does that make sense, Aquarius? So that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, darling. I hope you enjoyed something in here. If it did, you already know what to do, and I'll connect you sometime in the near future, Aquarius. Bye, darling.